to be honest, I'm just a big old fangirl like the rest of you, and I am definitely a fan of the guests on our next panel. Are you ready to put your hands together and join me in welcoming to the stage the cast of Avatar The Last Airbender? Yeah! I love a good dad joke. Never apologize. So how are the four of you doing? How has Toronto been treating you so far and getting to see the fans?
Wonderfully. Everyone here is so nice. There was a thing that I figured out doing some of these conventions is that I think it turns out if you grew up with Avatar, you're a good person.
Yes. Like an Avatar fan who wasn't great.
This is my first time in Toronto. I love Canada, and I'm a fan, as a matter of fact. Free healthcare.
Things off, I want to ask all of you, going all the way back to the beginning of your, or actually before your career began, what was the thing that was the spark that made you want to get into acting?
So many things. I started acting when I was 5, which is crazy. But I don't know. I started singing like before I even started acting. I just loved music. And then we had, this is gonna age me, but we had Phantom of the Opera on cassette tape. And so I would listen to that over and over again, like listen to Christine Daae's, insane trilling. And we also had the West End original cast of Cats, the musical, on VHS.
Oh
dear
God.
That out. And then also Kelly Clarkson's Miss Independent.
Yes.
Yep. And then early Britney Spears as well. So just all of that was just performing seemed cool and fun. And I was like, this makes me feel happy and I want to be a part of this. And so that's why I asked my mom when I was 5. I was like, hey, can I do this commercial thing that my friend did? And that was the beginning. What about you guys?
I started very young, and it was all me just doing very bad impressions of loud comedians. Most of them Canadian. So mostly Martin Short and Jim Carrey, and that was a lot of how I started.
It was December of 1970. It actually was December of 1970. I can trace it back to then. My parents had dropped my little brother and I off to see a motion picture. It was a musical called Scrooge, starring Albert Finney. They run it every December. For my money, it's the best version of that. It was the first.
There's a lot of competition.
I know. There's a lot. I'll give the Muppets number 2. Scrooge number 1. Anyway, I remember. This movie touched me in such a, it was almost like a religious experience. I'll never forget it. I was only 10 years old, and the movie, of course, spoiler alert, Scrooge changes, it has a happy ending. I'm sorry. And the end of this movie, the finale, is just joy heap on top of joy, heap on top of joy, with singing and dancing. And I remember I was 10 years old and I was crying. I wasn't even sure why I was crying. All I knew after seeing that movie was that I wanted to do what was making me so happy. I wanted to make other people feel the way this movie was making me happy. And so it was like it was a moment. And the Greg that went into the movie theater and came out of the movie theater were two very different people. I had a very clear vision of what I wanted to do with my life, and it's been great. It's been great.
I was a dancer before I was an actor. So I was a b-boy in the 80s, but dance has always been a big thing to me. And I think the first thing was John Travolta in Grease, for sure. But also before that, John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever. A lot of people don't, it's funny that you John Travolta, but you guys don't know, before, Michael Jackson was the greatest dancer in the world for a time. But before Michael Jackson, John Travolta was the greatest dancer in the world. People don't remember that, but John Travolta, Saturday Night Fever, 100%.
John Travolta as Danny Zuko. Any relation?
Well, Danny Zuko.
There you go.
The first time I met this character Zuko, I walked in the room and they're like, "You're playing Zuko," and I said, "Like Danny Zuko?" And Michael Bryan was like, "Not exactly."
I'm curious, we're hitting the 20th anniversary, and I'm curious for each of you, when you were working on it, or maybe after you were done with it, when did you realize it was going to be something that was still drawing like huge auditoriums full of people 20 years later? What was that moment for you?
Today. No, actually, we have talked about, this was before social media, like in the show when we were recording, before social media, before iPhones, we were very much like just going in to record this cool show, and then we were like, all right, great, and then the next job, and we just had no idea that people loved it as much as they were loving it, and as much as they do now, still. And so the last couple of years, it's like each year it's like, oh, okay, like the Avatar thing, it's, they had their fun, and then it just keeps growing, and we're like, oh, people like this is so cool. So yeah, honestly, like the last 2 years, it was really like, whoa, people really, really like this. So it was recent.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell when making it, reading the script, seeing the early animation, you could tell you were part of something special, but you can never guess how that's going to impact people, or who's going to find it, and how big that audience is going to be, and how long it'll last. But we knew we were part of something special.
It really sort of hit me home. It was, I think, a year ago, and I was visiting my son Cooper in Brooklyn, and we went to see Avatar live in concert. And if you haven't seen it, you really need to see it. This thing is great. And I've always known, I've known intellectually at these fan conventions, I know that this show is beloved by millions and millions and millions of people. But when the lights went down in this theater, and the orchestra started playing the theme, and it was a 3,000-seat theater, and it's filled capacity, and the noise that those 3,000 people made, it was the first time I really understood emotionally and hear how beloved this show was. And it's just been one of the great blessings of my life to be involved with something that resonates with people in their real lives. 20 years after it aired, it's miraculous.
I agree with everything that said. It's just one of these things that kind of kept growing over the years. Initially doing it was really cool, and then there's no internet, and then you find out that a lot of people were watching it in those days and how important it was to them. And then COVID happened, and then it was like the show meant even more to more people and became more poignant in a new era and time. And then it got, we all got stuck at home, and then Netflix became the #1 network in the world, and then this show became the #1 show 15 years after we did it. It was like,
We're like a whole summer.
Yeah. So that was crazy, and then now just, again, it's very humbling and awe-inspiring almost to be part of one of these legendary kind of stories like Star Wars or Harry Potter or whatever. Didn't know we were actually in that when we were doing it.
Yeah, I mean, to see now the new series that's coming out, all the subsequent works that they're building out of Avatar Studios, and be like, yeah, we were in a small.
We totally knew this was going to happen. We totally knew we were building this whole thing.
You're still involved with some of the new animated stuff, correct?
I mean, I'm around. I still work for Avatar. I do the podcast, Breaking the Elements, with Janet Varney, voice of course. So I'm around, and some other people, they're still doing a lot of things. I get whispers of things going on.
Anything else that you're working on?
I don't know anything.
You don't know?
Jesus.
We do have some fun pre-submitted fan questions for each of you. And I'll start with Michaela, since you're sitting right next to me. If Toph could metal bend and Katara could blood bend, what unique bending variations do you think she could have developed with airbending or bending?
Wait, I'm confused.
Yeah.
If Toph, because if Toph, she can metal bend.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
So I'm confused. Wait, so yes, what's the second half of that question?
What's the airbending crazy? What should the
What's the sub airbending?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh gosh. Well, I mean, could we collapse someone's lungs?
Yeah.
Can we take out the oxygen from the air so that people can't breathe? You know what I mean? So maybe
Earth Queen and Korra.
The space between atoms.
We're getting very scientific with this. So yeah, something like that. But what would be caused with metal bending and then blood bending? So I mean, airbending is airbending. So would you just call it void bending? Yeah, because it's funny because airbenders are the opposite of any sort of aggression. So I feel like there would never be a sub airbender because I just feel like.
So here.
But yeah.
accurate to the chat.
Let Lindsay change. Metaphorically. Because I feel like time is the next thing to bed. But I think it probably, for some reason, I feel it'll be a subgenre of air.
I mean, I feel like that means spirit.
Maybe spirit. I mean, with the 7 havens, there could be 7. There's 7.
Yeah, maybe 7
There's at least
rounds.
3 new things. Or, I think so.
Well,
4 nations. 7
Oh!
There's 4 nations, now there's 7 havens. I'm like, oh, maybe there's like spirit world, maybe there's some other stuff.
Yeah, maybe there's different dimensions. Maybe we are time.
Maybe there are. I'm conspiracy. I feel like it would be.
I do think in the original series, when Sokka was on Cactus Juice, he touched time.
Yes!
He did go to the other dimension.
So I think he had all future avatars.
You've seen it all.
So good. And I actually have one here that's for all of you, which is, if you could spend a day with any character from the show, and you can't pick your own character, who would it be and what would you do together?
I would like the cabbage merchant to take me on that.
Yeah!
I'm a supplier for all the great restaurants in all of these cities. He sells the cabbage. He would know where to get some good eats.
You know, I'd like to hang out with Sokka. Yeah, so we could go out and do some of that, cactus.
Yeah. Who would Greg on fire?
This is a little selfish, but Appa's my favorite character, and I just want to fly around.
Oh, that's so big, that range. I was like, oh, I'd like a good deal. You're like, fine. Of course,
I
fine.
want to fly because I get to see everything. I want to go to Boss Sena. I want to go to the air temple. I want to go.
So embarrassed.
It's fun though. You get good food. I'm just starving on the back of Appa, and you're eating. So
Jet. Hang on, Jet.
okay.
Yeah!
He'll give, rob the rich, give the poor.
He's not a Robin Hood figure. It was terrorism.
Details.
This is another fun one that I think everybody will enjoy. If you could create a new animal hybrid
Oh.
from the Avatar universe, what would it be and what abilities would it have?
Good question, Maggie. Good question.
I can take no credit for
And
it.
we're thinking like to see them in action, not to eat, right? Because like a cow with a goose liver. I mean, that sounds delicious.
Some lunch.
Let's start with one animal. Anybody?
Well, I really like geese. And I really like horses, but that's kind of like
Scary.
That's a
Scary animal.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Very aggressive.
Goose?
A gorse? A
horse?
I like goose better. Geese?
No, that's things.
Yeah, I want to make a goose. Or not a goose. And then abilities-wise, I mean, yes, it's gonna fly, but like I don't know. What's a funny horse thing? It has to like stomp through the air. I don't know, something ridiculous. Would it bend? I don't know. I think it would just be angry. I think you're right. I think it would be very angry.
You can lead a horse to water, but you
No.
can't make it water bend.
That is correct.
I would start with a fluffy, furry animal, like a rabbit. And then let's mix him with what?
A dragon. I mean, dragons are canonically in that world, so a little rabbit dragon. I think would be
Rabbit dragon's cool. You can like hop
Dragon.
and fly.
A ragged.
That'd be cool.
Not a dragon? A ragged.
Fire breathing.
dragon.
Bunny.
Drabbit.
dragon.
Really long ears.
Floppy ears.
Let's go.
Here's a fun, serious question. The show explores balance extensively between elements, nations, and within oneself. Which aspect of balance has resonated most with each of you?
Which aspect of balance has resonated deeply? All of us, take notes from our own characters and other characters, but I get asked a lot of times similar to Topher if I resonate with her, and I'm like, absolutely. She is me, I am her a little bit, because that's how acting works, for me anyway. But I think her stubbornness and independence were very, very similar on that. And we also have a similar weakness in trusting people, relying on friends, being like, hey, maybe I should ask for help. And I'm like, what? No, we don't do that. So I think there's balance, and you watch her kind of go through that too. You know, Katara's like, hey, help the group. And she's like, I carry my own weight. And Katara's like, that's not how this works. And so I think that journey of watching her figure out how to like rely on her friends, and like the finale, you freaking saved my life. Like we were hanging on by a thread over here, and like I had to trust you so much, and that would have not happened in season 2, I don't think. So I think that just balance of needing people while also being self-sufficient is something that I still resonate with and take notes from.
For Sokka, I think he has to find like balance of ego and self-image. There's a lot of like, he has a lot of high-low stuff where he either thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, usually correctly, or he's got this like stubborn, egotistical, like he's got to be the leader, he's got to make decisions. Or we see the other side of it where he thinks of himself as this non-bender in this world of benders. We see during like Sokka's Master, the way in which he feels less than. And I think a lot of his journey is about finding the balance between those of like being able to defer to other people with great ideas and also being able to like stay confident and true to himself and know like what value he brings. So I think finding that midpoint of ego was a big thing for me.
You know, he's all about balance. And I think it's ironic and also kind of cool that my 2 Mako roles are also all about balance. Because there's Aku from Samurai Jack and Iroh from Avatar The Last Airbender, literally yin and yang, literally good and evil. And so, you know, in terms of balance in my own life, it's like, we all aspire to be more like Uncle Iroh. Sometimes you have to have an Aku day.
I agree with you. I think the balance between perceived good and perceived evil, like Zuko's whole redemption arc, and just the reminder that some of the people that we may feel are villains in our life may just be some of the greatest allies. We just don't know the whole story yet.
Which has been one of your favorite storylines you got to explore with your character?
I loved the UA storyline. It was like, you know, early in season 1, it was some of the first, you know, I think doing Sokka, I expected a lot of it to be the comedic relief. And so when I started opening scripts and seeing like, oh, he's gonna fall in love and deal with loss and deal with tragedy, I think there was I felt like such a gift and a blessing as an actor, and I just love those storylines. And I think like setting-wise, I just think like the Northern Water Tribe is like, oh, stunning.
I was a little jealous that you hooked up with you. I was like, damn, Sokka.
Yeah, like 3rd or 4th time that season.
What?
He was doing great.
I know. I mean, obviously, I'm the president. I've been there. For years.
Oh my gosh.
Sokka gets her.
We only see Toph be like gentle for like 2 seconds, maybe in the entire original series. But Tales of All Say has a soft spot in my heart. I mean, the library is my favorite episode. But Tales of All Say is my second favorite. I freaking love it. And we get to see her, I don't know, try to just have like a normal girl friendship. And like what that means, and being like, you know, maybe she's been so intensely tomboy because it's been so forced on her, but maybe there are parts of it that she kind of likes, and she's like, you know, I want to be perceived as attractive, whatever that means. I don't know, because I'm just literally going off of vibes of people, so I don't even know what it means to be like perceived as attractive. And so just watching her have that heart-to-heart moment with Katara, watching Katara open up to like Toph's antics with her like, you know, earth bending the like cucumber in the mud on her face or whatever, and then her laughing at it. I feel like there's like a lovely little moment of like girlhood that we get for a second that we don't necessarily see. We see like the evil side of people a little bit, but yeah, we don't see it in like in the game because we're trying to save the world. So I do appreciate that little side quest.
You know, I think my favorite Iroh storyline wasn't really so much the storyline as the vignette. The tale of Iroh and Tales from Boston State.
Yes.
When you see him, you don't know what he's doing, but he's buying all the items for it. It's so Iroh to teach the mugger how to mug. And then you realize the whole time what Ira was on his way to do, and how inside his heart must be breaking. And that to me is literally, that's my favorite storyline. I think it's my favorite episode. I love Tales from Boston Say.
And one of the parts of the storyline that I don't think we talked about a lot, but when I was rewatching the show for the podcast, I really got into is the fact that as much as a story about saving the world and all these things, it's a lot of stories about siblings. And I'm one of many siblings, like Zuko and Azula, Katara and Sokka, the two brothers, Ozai and Iroh. There's a lot of sibling story, and it goes more into siblings later in Korra. And I just kind of tapped into a lot of like what those relationships are and how they kind of shape characters in a lot of ways.
And talking about shaping characters, I want to know what is kind of been the evolution of your character. I guess that is something that is kind of still remains true to. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this exactly. Something with your character's journey that has resonated with you personally, kind of maybe even after years later, in talking with fans and hearing how your characters have had those impacts on other people. I always think about that here at fan conventions.
I mean, Zuko's a heavy character, and it means so much to so many people because of the redemption arc and going through abuse, and everybody who's kind of gone through trauma that has connected with Zuko and actually getting to see someone actually change, getting to engage and find some, go to their abuser and really confront their abuser. These are all things that all, myself included, have been through trauma, wish we could gone through, and Zuko kind of went through that for us in a lot of ways. And so getting to be engaged with the community and getting to kind of get through some of these moments is really, it's heavy for them. But I'm like, yo, he's special for me too, so I 100% understand exactly why he came out with him.
That's an element of Zuko that I think is so you can talk about. Because modern storytelling seems to think that redemption can only be achieved through death, but redemption is achieved through living through what you've done and learning through it. So I think
Well, I was just going to say, which is kind of, I think, Aang's internal struggle. Everyone is like, you must kill. He's like, no, there is like a different, better way to do this, which I think is so nuanced and wonderful. Because yeah, you're like, in order for it to end, you literally have to like end it. And it's like, no, not necessarily.
Jet was like, let's you kill though.
Yeah. I would just say, Top's ability to bounce back. I think, I love to do this little fun poll. Who here is under 18? Show hands, if I can see them. Okay, who's 18 to 30? Yeah. Okay, who's like 30 to 45? Okay, 45 to 60-ish? 60 plus? That's 8. Awesome. So I think the 18 to 30, I just turned 31 this last Monday. Crazy. That window, I don't know about y'all, but oh my gosh. So much life, so many things change. There's friends coming in and out. You might be moving. There's school. There's not school. Maybe you drop out. Maybe you move back in with your parents. Maybe not. Maybe you're buying a house. Probably not. In this economy, no. There's so many moving parts. And I'm like, where's my husband? No idea. Can't see him. So many things happening.
Right.
And so I think Top's ability to bounce back when she's struggling in the library, one of the reasons why I like that episode, she's like, crap, I failed. I don't fail. I'm good at things. And so the next time, hit something and I'm like, dang it, I failed. And I was like, all right, you're going to figure it out and you're going to come back even freaking better. So carrying that with me, just being
Nice.
Just Sokka's curiosity, I think, is one of his core defining traits, and sometimes it goes too far. But I think it's a wonderful thing that I aspire to do, as curious as he is.
Yeah, people sometimes mistake Greg Baldwin for being as wise as Uncle Ira. And I am absolutely not as wise as Uncle Ira. I'll be 65 next month. And if you're 65 years old and you're not a little bit wise, you've been doing something wrong. But I can absolutely say that I am considerably wiser because of my proximity to this role. And it helps because I've memorized so many of the quotes because people want to hear the quotes, trying to cite the quotes, and having Iroh's wisdom memorized helps you become more wise. Not a bad thing at all, you know. But please don't ask me for too much wisdom. I'm just seriously.
That's a good one as well. This is a fun question for each of you. If you could pitch a one-off storyline with your character and a character you didn't get to interact with, who would it be and why?
I mean, I know that you mentioned Jet. I feel like Toph and like Jet's crew would kind of vibe a little bit.
Yeah.
The runaway situation.
The freedom fighters.
You know, she got a little moments of street giggling, whatever. So I feel like
Bird smeller.
Oh, Bird smeller bee.
I don't know if they would do more of like a Robin Hood thing. I don't know. Toph had a little streak of people choosing they didn't like some food. It's fine. What I love is
They're a gang.
yeah.
You would be the gang leader.
The gin and
Take
Jet.
over, like Jet's gone, I'm gonna leave you.
Yeah, there we go. I'll step in for Jet. Yeah.
Gin and Jet?
I would say
I am not gonna
Sokka, you know, he journeys all around the world. He's so curious. He's learning all these different like fighting styles and militaristic techniques and whatever. So I think Sparky Boom Man. Yeah. You know, they don't get each other from a distance, but I think they would have really.
Like, how does the mechanism?
Oh, I think, honestly, I would love to see Ozai and Iroh. I would love to see their youth, to see what they were like as brothers, and just to sort of see how the rift happened. And honestly, I would love to see Iroh just, all we know is Iroh is the lovable, tea-sipping spouter of wisdom. We've never really met the Dragon of the West who laid, siege to Boston City.
That needs to
I'd
have
like
a
to meet
book.
that guy. And I think that would be interesting.
I
It might be disconcerting, because there's certainly going to be Iroh that we're not used to seeing, but we also have to take into account Iroh's
Pendulum
own.
swing. The pendulum swing.
Yeah, Iroh has his own redemption journey, you know?
I want like a backstory with Zuko as well.
Well, Zuko and Yue. Before, a few summers ago, or winter, because they're water.
You and the water
There was a moment, like they almost had a moment.
And then you get the line, this girl I hit on one summer who totally rejected me turned into the middle.
Right.
That's rough, buddy!
It doesn't sound that impactful.
That's rough, buddy.
That's rough, buddy.
I would pay to see all of that. Every time I'm at the conventions like this, I love hearing stories about, because obviously everybody here is getting to meet all of you, and you mean so much to them. Have you had like a fanboy or fangirl encounter where you've got to meet another celebrity here at one of these conventions that's had an impact on your career, or just somebody you really looked up to, and what has that been like for you?
I will say, so the green room kind of in the back where they have lunch and stuff for us is such a fun random mix of people. And, everyone's kind of got their different degrees of security, or like I want to be alone. You can like kind of tell the vibes of everyone. Some people are super social, some people just need a second. And I've had like the best random conversations with like one person from like Supernatural who like I didn't even like know fully like what was happening. We were just like happened to be next to each other on a couch. But I think it's just like an energy thing. Like they can just, someone can sense like what's going on, and then we just start talking about like family, or maybe like their sister passed away, or maybe I'm like dealing with a stupid boy or whatever. And then we just have like an incredible like 20-second conversation. We go like cover everything from like philosophy and our family and whatever. And then we're just like, all right, it was really nice meeting you. Have a great day. So I'm just trying to like remember. I don't even remember like names sometimes. I think Mark, was it Mark from Supernatural? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and then Michael Rosenbaum's another great one. Yeah, just like great little one-on-one conversations. So funny. I don't know about y'all, but the green room is fun time.
I grew up a huge wrestling fan, so seeing Sting walking around is my
Yeah.
For me, it was Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah! No, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, the green room's crazy. And I still talk to people who are like, well, whatever. Like Rock Macho, had to say hi to Rock Macho.
Oh, wow.
The Fonz. Dude. The Fonz. There's like people that you just like, I don't know, say what's up. Just, it's nerve-wracking. You know, you're just like, hey, I just want to say, I did a cartoon since cartoon. But everyone's very nice, but yeah, you can fangirl all the time back
Well, I'm excited for all of you to get to continue fangirling and fanboying and fan everybody this weekend. Are you guys heading back to your table, photo ops?
We are, yeah, both. Is there more photos?
I don't know what.
I like how you're saying me. It's just at the table. Yeah, we already did photo ops with the kid. But we do have photo ops tomorrow. I believe at like 1:50 in the afternoon, somewhere around there, for pro photo ops. But otherwise, yeah, we're just hanging out at our table. You guys are all here tomorrow too, yeah? Yes, great. Amazing. We're hanging out at our table.
Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all for
Yeah. Still good though. Still good. Good to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
Guys,
Yeah.
we'll get to the autographs.
Get to
Yeah.
your autographs, guys.
Yeah, I'll see you around, guys.
All right.
We're part of that Instagram.